Hello and welcome to Group Chat. I'm your host, Bentley, and today I'm excited to welcome to the chat Donnie Kutzbach, co-owner of Town Ballroom and Fun Time Presents, and also who is pretty much behind every concert in Buffalo. I can't even give you the list right now. Allie Brady, stand-up comedian and voice of the Buffalo Bandits, and Alexa Zappia. Alexa Zappia is an Emmy-nominated casting producer. You've seen her work on Squid Game, The Bachelor, and a whole lot more. Another one. I mean, every reality show right now.
Thank you.
Today we're talking about the challenges of early fame. There may be a reason Alexa was brought on. You know, Jonas Brothers. We're going to have some Jonas Brothers talk. The nostalgia of being a kid again and all things Britpop. Looking over at you, Donnie. But first, what are you talking about in your group chats? Dun, dun, dun. How's your summer going?
Well, I know my group chat is a lot of multiple single chats right now because Paul McCartney tickets went on sale. So a lot of very anxious friends of mine, I did secure tickets. And
yeah, I knew you would have gotten them no matter what.
I talked about budget and I was like, it doesn't matter.
No.
It's a Beatle. I saw Ringo already this year. So it's 2/all Beatles in 1 year.
Yep.
So that was a big group chat discussion.
The organizing of getting tickets, I feel like that's been a lot of my group chats, specifically in terms of Paul McCartney.
Yes, they were, by the time I got there was about 75,000 people ahead of me in the queue. And then I got there and most tickets were sold out except the ones that cost a lot.
Of course.
Yeah, but it's great. Secured tickets, happy, and group chat is successful.
There's nothing that gives me more anxiety than getting tickets.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
it's terrible.
First of all, Ticketmaster needs to figure out what's going on and another way to do this, because it's like all of a sudden you get into the queue and all mental capacity just leaves.
Yeah.
You're just like, wait, what? I'm here? Like you don't even know how to read anymore. It's just everything just goes and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I have deep anxiety about almost everything except for buying tickets, because it's the only thing that I can say. I can send one text or one email or one phone call and get.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why thank goodness. Thank goodness. It's the one thing, because I'd be so freaked out if I had to go through it at this point in time.
That's the perk of the other stresses that you have to deal with in the business.
I will deal with the rest of it just for the fact that I was able to send one text and say, hey, I need McCartney tickets. Okay, how much do you want to spend?
Yeah. Well, and just being able to have your own link, or just being able to be like, can I, sending money and getting the tickets.
And also, I just want to say, for the amount of phone calls, texts, emails that I get for people asking me for tickets, I do deserve to have the thing where I get to go do it.
Oh,
myself.
yeah.
Are you going?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, duh.
Yeah.
It's funny though when you talk about Ticketmaster, because we're going to be talking about Britpop, but that was my first ticket anxiety for a while. It was Oasis, and trying to get the UK tickets, and I was in the queue. I was finally there, and then I got kicked out. And I realized because of work, I have 2 Ticketmaster accounts because I have a work account, but I have to handle them both on my phone. So they figured out, this has happened to me a couple of times, that it thinks I'm a bot because I have multiple accounts, and then it boots me out. So I will literally sit there in the queue the whole time.
Oh my God, that's awful.
We're working on that, but that's been in my group chat too.
You did get Oasis tickets though.
For Toronto.
Okay, same. Right.
I mean, I hope they're real.
He'll be fine.
There's plenty of floor seats. Yeah.
And I have to be honest here, and this is from the inside, and I do not work for Live Nation or Ticketmaster. I do not work for AEG.
Yeah.
There's never a show that you can't get a ticket. There's maybe something like a Taylor Swift show every once in a while, but there's always tickets to be had. You just have to be patient, not let the anxiety get the best of you, and sometimes wait till the very, very end. And there's always tickets. And I'm not even talking about paying an exorbitant, crazy amount over the actual face value, which face values don't mean anything anymore, because especially if you're looking at Paul McCartney tickets today, dynamic pricing means there is no true face value anymore. It's just like, oh, these tickets, you thought they're going to be 400, they're going to be 800. But you can get back to the 400 if you wait and just wait till the end. But there are always tickets to be had, and that's what the Live Nations of the world do not want you to know.
You're too positive. I don't like it.
Well,
I'm a truth spitter over here.
I mean, and that's what gives me anxiety is when Donnie tells me just wait. I'm like, I can't wait. I need to know right now. I have those tickets, and that's what they hope you will do.
Also, Also, Bentley has been working in this business for, I won't even say how many years, because she's too young and beautiful for me to even try to admit how old she could possibly be. But there's always a way to get
I
in.
know, but
Yeah.
there is some excitement around.
I know.
Yeah, there is.
Well, so before we get into, we're going to be getting into all of the things that we just talked about. We're going to be talking about Jonas Brothers and your ticket experience in some capacity. We are going to be talking Britpop. But what is going on right now? Some pop culture. We're going to do a little pop culture roundup. So new Superman movie out. Has anybody seen it?
I saw
You
it.
did see it?
I sure did.
I did. You went out right away and watched it.
I did. I went and saw it the same way that I saw the first original Superman movie with Christopher Reeve. I saw it at the drive-in.
Oh my
Oh, you
God, I'm
did?
doing that this weekend.
It was great.
Wait, that's so funny you said that.
Mhm.
My friend's coming in from LA
Mhm.
and we were trying to think of like things that she doesn't have in LA. So I said the drive-in, and I'm not a Superman person at all. But the only one that we like kind of wanted potentially to see is Superman at the drive-in. So it was like a good experience.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was great. And I go to the
Okay,
drive-in when my kids were younger. We went to the drive-in once or twice a week,
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
and now it's maybe a couple times a summer, but it's still a thing, and it's so much fun. And we went to one out in the country in Dunkirk, the Van Buren drive-in, because we were out in Angola, so
Yeah.
it's only about a 25-minute drive. So we went there, and it's so much fun, and it is such a throwback, but it still feels like you're doing something that it's such a real
You're
and
watching it.
visceral experience, but you can still see the movie. The technology has caught up where it's not like, I remember even like 10 or 20 years ago, the technology wasn't as good for drive-ins, and you'd kind of be squinting, like, I can't really see what's going on. And it's like, one of my friends would complain, it's like, I'm only going to the theater to see it. I need to see this in high def. I'm not going to the drive-in. I'd be like, oh, you baby. Because it's about the experience of the
Yeah.
drive-in. But yeah, and I think right now, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find something that is as culturally a touchstone in the last week, and that's about as long as our news cycle and everything lasts. But Superman is what everybody's talking about.
Oh, yeah. And I forget about, thank you for reminding me about the drive-in experience and drive-ins. It's nice out now, so we can go to drive-ins.
Look, if you want to go Sunday night, I'll
I
be
mean,
there.
maybe. I'm thinking.
And taking kids is the best. You put your guy in his pajamas
Yeah.
and
Snacks.
falls
Snacks. Yep.
falls asleep halfway through the movie,
I love
and
it.
you just do your thing.
I didn't know they didn't have drive-ins in LA.
They don't have that's that commercial that they always
Yeah.
have. Like we're like one of the only left in the
Ah.
country. And so again,
Interesting.
she's also never been to Toronto. So we're going
you
to
get
Toronto.
a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, we're going to Toronto and then Sunday going to drive-in.
Wait until you find out she's never had soup or something.
You can take it to the
Yeah, and
drive-in.
she's also have never done this
Fine.
before. Yeah.
So there's been a lot of talk around the Superman movie. So I feel like even if you aren't into superheroes, there's still, like you were saying, it's in the zeitgeist right
Yeah.
now. And, there's songs from the movie that are already, the Iggy Pop song apparently is just like going viral right now.
It's cool.
But there is a dissection of it. Some people saying it's too woke.
It is.
Is that a thing?
I don't think it's woke. I think it's just viewed as woke right now because of the temperature
Yeah.
in the country and in the world. And so the things that we used to just sort of accept and take for granted, I think the idea of Superman, truth, justice in the American way, I think we all used to sort of agree that it meant one thing, and now it means different things to different people.
Yeah.
And I think that's why that there is a controversy among some people about Superman. And to me, I don't think Superman ever changed. I think the culture changed and other people changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Superman drive-in. That's the recommendation. I'm thinking, because you got 2 out of, Allie and I might need to have
Yeah, what's the second feature?
a road trip or a
I don't
field
know.
trip.
Do we look this up?
Yeah.
I think you guys need to go on Sunday. Then we make it.
They had F1 as a second
yes, that was
feature.
it.
Isn't that on Apple TV already?
It might be, but
F1.
You're
Did
like,
you
why
say?
pay for tickets? I can just go to
Yeah.
Apple TV.
I know. Forget the
Well, so F1 was another feature at the
there's-
drive-in.
Yeah, so when you go to the drive-in, you get a
Yeah.
double feature. And if
Yeah.
you want to stay till 2 a.m. or
Yeah.
whatever, which I usually do,
Yeah.
but
That's
my,
cool.
my son, who's 16, he was on about 3 hours sleep, finished summer school, did all this other stuff, got a job that day.
Yeah.
So he was like, he was asleep before Superman was even over, and I felt bad. But I'm like, okay, we can't stay for our phone. We got to go.
Yeah. So F1 is also making headlines. I think it's, I mean, that's been a couple weeks now, and I think it's the glamour of it, you know. Also F1 fans. There's F1 fans that are like, you know, Lewis Hamilton's involved, but also they're, you know, it's a pretty showy movie. But I think it is what you expect it to be. It's like sort of like that Mission Impossible kind of, you know, fast cars. And,
Top Gun.
And the big controversy of the actress getting cut. That was a big Bridgerton actress, right? Yeah. And Brad Pitt's new facelift, allegedly. It's great. It looks great.
So if you're going to go see a double feature, you could take care of both of those at the drive-in. Justin Bieber dropped a new album.
Yes.
Thoughts on the Justin Bieber album?
Cricket.
Well, I think the lead up to it's been very confusing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was, you took the words out of my mouth and I didn't know how to appropriately say that, but like, yeah, very interesting type of a drop. People are saying it goes both ways, right? People are saying, was he doing all of this and making such a thing in the media knowing that the album's going to drop? Or did he drop the album because he's been going crazy in the media and now it's just like, you forget about all that because you have this new album?
Yeah.
Is it an apology to Haley? Is that what's kind of going on?
I mean, he's just gone rogue. Like, it's just like, what is going on? Like, and it's just like, I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, shout out to her phone case. I know that.
Yeah.
The lip gloss on the phone case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of got the feeling just from, you know, it's one of those things. It's like following Britney Spears on Instagram. Like I tried to not watch like what he was doing on Instagram because you just never know what was going to happen. Yeah. And, you know, one second he's fine. The next second he's off the rails. So I was just like, maybe he just needs to drop this album. So it looks like the creative process. I'm not sure.
Creative process and it's
I don't know.
I guess. I don't know.
Is he doing a tour?
I don't.
Is he like okay?
We don't want. I know. We don't want him to.
I don't know if he is okay to be doing a tour now.
I hope his mental health is okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's hard to know, and it is. And now in the era we live in, it's sort of that thing is like, is this performative? Is this all an act for the wind up for the album release? But I have to be honest, I don't think it is.
No, I think it looks very real. I think that's why it was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was discovered at 12 years old. So you have to remember that there is that element of the early fame and being probably put in adult situations at a young age. You know, we were sort of talking about when he was coming up through, social media wasn't as much of a thing. So you just saw the front facing of all of the good things that were happening to him. So, and they know with the Diddy trial going on, you know, he was allegedly at some of the parties. So how do we handle these stars now? What does their journey to stardom look like? What do we expect from them?
I think there's a lot more compassion now than we did even 5 years ago. I think the Britney Spears, you know, situation kind of checked everyone a little bit. You know, and also, I don't know, Dakota Fanning, that actor. I mean, she was in a rough spot for. No, I mean, there's like so many good stories too. Is what I'm trying to get at. Like Britney Spears, we still see now dancing in her pumps and her brown pumps and her bikini top versus other people who are really successful and grounded, but they're also not on social media. So who knows? It's a little bit of craving the attention because that's how they can feel love. So I don't know. I think there's a lot more compassion with it now than it has been.
And I think we want them to succeed. It's just then when we see what's behind that success, sometimes it gets a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think being creative is an easy thing. What about the connections with Justin and Selena?
Are you starting a war? Is that what you're trying to do? What are you doing? What are you doing here, Bentley? You think they should get back together? Is that what you're saying?
No. I mean, has been said that was a manufactured relationship.
From like the olden days.
Yeah.
I mean, so many are.
The olden days. But yeah.
Like Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson, right? That was a fixer. But I don't know. I think that was a real relationship, right? Or you don't think so? I don't know. I don't know what you do at 14. I was just a like smelly dandruff child that was chubby. Yeah. Like I didn't have I think a boyfriend. Like what?
They might have facilitated it and then maybe, you know, things then it turned into.
I mean, like an agent was like, you guys should go to TGI Fridays. Yes. And like, is that what they're doing?
It is all controlled in the background, and I'm sure, you know.
Yeah.
it's known that is the case. I'm not saying it can't turn into more, but it's almost always happening from behind the scenes now. I shouldn't say now, because they've been doing it since the days where, closeted gay stars, they'd put them out there with, going back to the 40s and 50s, where they would put, they'd put an actress and make sure that they got a lot of pictures of them out in public and put it in the magazines and in the newspapers. So I was like, oh yeah, there he's with a woman.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
So it's been going on. It's been going on forever.
The 8 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, right? That book that kind of shows it. That's a new movie coming out soon. But yeah, that's completely.
So there are obviously things that Justin has dealt with in his life. So we're wishing him well and hoping that he is successful in this album release. And Selena's crushing it. She's
Crushing.
It said she maybe had the most graceful Disney exit of all time, but how did Selena make how did she make her transparency a strength? Because she was very honest.
Therapy. Like therapy saves. Therapy. Right? She was very open about that.
Yeah. In case you just joined us, you're listening to Group Chat. I'm your host, Bentley, here with Donnie Kutzbach, Ollie Brady, and Alexa Zappia. So we have transitioned, and we were talking about Justin Bieber's new album, but also talking about early fame and what that looks like later in life. And there have been people that have been successful in that, but there also, could be a price. But there's also a following with these artists. So you might have known Justin when he was coming up, and now you either expect the same things or you want him to succeed. Jonas Brothers coming to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Alexa. Big fan. You actually just met Nick.
I did twice. Twice in New York, randomly. I mean, one wasn't random, one was, but yes, twice.
Go on.
Take her out of the gutter.
How did you first find a love for the Jonas Brothers as artists?
20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm 28, so now I feel really old saying that. But my really good friend, also an Alexa, although we call her Lexi, we in middle school. I mean, literally in start of middle school, elementary school, middle school era. They just got on the scene. We were like huge Disney fans. And I mean, what's not to love 3 attractive guys to 8-year-olds and who can sing and who can act? I mean, yes. So that became like our thing, that we were just like, we would sit at either my house or her parents' house and make up dances to the Jonas Brothers. And we did Burn It Up in our parents' bathrobes, and it got to the chorus, and we would just like whip off the bathrobes, and we would be in all red because he was talking about a red dress, like whatever. So it became that. And then, I think as we got older and as our lives change and we get older and, we go to college and post-college and whatever, with Lexi in particular, we're still super, super close. And it's funny that a lot of our memories revolve around the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah.
And so we go to every tour together. We're always sending each other like memes and stuff. So yes, it is the Jonas Brothers. And there's so many other things that connect Lexi and myself.
Yeah.
But building those memories and growing up with them. I mean, she's coming in for the tour. She lives in Florida now. She's coming in for the tour so we can have the 20th anniversary tour together.
Yeah.
So
That you're already gearing up for, and that's in November.
oh my God, guys, you don't even know what it is. You don't know what just happened. Okay. So I got my tickets back in March. I have booked a 14-person reservation at the Panorama on 7. A bunch of us from Spin are going, and then we're all going to the concert. And I booked the reservation in March. So for November. But
So there's power in nostalgia.
so there's power in nostalgia, but I think that's it. So you're watching them grow up from Disney to now, and then you're also growing up with them.
Mm-hmm.
And those memories that I have, with Lexi, making these dances and these, fangirling over that, whatever, and doing this together now, it's just memories. And then I go and meet him and I call her. She always answers my call in 5 minutes. I call her. She doesn't answer my FaceTime. She's in the shower.
And he was on the FaceTime?
It was right as he was like coming. I was like, Lexi, like, dude, you dropped the ball here. So I called her back again. She didn't answer me. And I like sent her a picture of me and Nick Jonas. And she's like, I was in the shower. Like, are you kidding me?
I'm so sorry.
Well,
She was soul crushed.
it's funny when you talk about the dances too, because that was such a thing, and that was pre-TikTok, by the way.
Pre-TikTok.
Pre-TikTok dances. Donnie, you knew the early Jonas Brothers, didn't you? Book them, or you had something to do with Joe Jonas?
I don't want to. Again, we're talking 20 years. This has been 20 years. It was before they were on Disney, but they were on the way. Does anybody remember the Veronicas?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So I did a show. It was the first year that we'd opened Town Ballroom, and it was a show with the Veronicas, and it was oddly enough, we didn't do a lot of these. I think it was an early show on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And it was Veronicas, and one of the Veronicas was dating Ryan Cabrera. There's another name that is like,
my
Who also dated
gosh.
Ashley Simpson.
Yeah.
yes. This was after Ashley Simpson. He's just kind of sitting there with his, no matter what era it is, was a dumb haircut. And he's sitting at the front of house mixing board with like watching them sound check with his dumb haircut. But I remember the first of three were these three, like, to me, little boys. And their dad is there managing them. They said a prayer before they went on stage, which you don't see a lot in the rock and roll world, but you know, every once in a while you do.
Yeah.
And I texted my partner who wasn't there that day, and I said, "Oh, this opening band is really good. It's like a family band. It's like a three brothers trio, but they can all really play and they're really good." And it was the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I
And
love that.
and I paid them, I want to say I paid them $250.
And a Diet Coke. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you're paying that much for a ticket to see.
Now you're paying that
That
for.
was literally the price of my ticket.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Full
that was
circle moment.
that was my Jonas Brothers story.
So are you going in November? You should.
Probably not. If my daughter's has always been she's remained a fan. If she decides she wants to go, I might go with her, but I probably won't. But you never know. I get a call from my friend at the arena and said, "Hey, what are you doing? You want to come to see the show?" So I sometimes pop in on a show like that.
What date
This
is that?
was a Sunday,
Is it the 12th or
the 9th.
Oh, that's
so that's a big
Bills
weekend.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
I won't be there.
Yeah.
Just make them wear Bills
It's a
jerseys.
Sunday night. I actually made a TikTok on this, and I was dead serious when I posted it, that I think the ticketing process, yes, I believe that everyone should be able to go to a concert, yes. But those who get first access in or first access to tickets, I think Big Rob, the security guard that they always have with them, needs to drop a song, and you just have to start singing. If you don't know that lyric or that song, like, you're not allowed in. Like, it's just like, this is for the OG 20 years.
Spoken as a true reality show casting director.
You should make a show about it.
You're like, I'm
Coming
in it.
soon.
I'm in it.
Yeah.
Ask Netflix.
Well, speaking of all things nostalgia, as we are discussing when we come back from the break, we're going to continue that and talk more about the nostalgia of our youth. And maybe Alexa will make you sing. Don't go away. Group chat on BTPM NPR. We'll be right back. Thanks for joining us again on Group Chat. I'm your host, Bentley, and I'm joined by Donnie Kutzbach, co-owner of Town Ballroom and Fun Time Presents and promoter for tons of concerts. Allie Brady, stand-up comedian and voice of the Buffalo Bandits, and also one of my favorite people to follow on social media. Alexa Zappia is an Emmy-nominated casting producer. You've seen her work on Squid Game, The Bachelor, and every other reality show out right now known to man. Also, Jonas Brothers connoisseur. We were just talking about some of the acts that we grew up with that are now touring or now have new albums out. So diving a little deeper into nostalgia, I know, Alexa, you were talking about Disney and then doing some of the dances. But now there are actual products that are designed to like tap into that nostalgia. So Chuck E. Cheese. Did anybody go to Chuck E. Cheese growing up? Or yeah.
Yes, but I was
Yeah.
terrified of him.
Like,
First of all,
yeah.
I'm 5 feet tall now. Like, imagine, I did not grow that
Little
much.
mouse.
Yeah, I'm
Little
literally
mouse.
right.
Yeah.
So, like, 2 foot tall me, and then
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese. I'm like, oh my God, you're really intimidating.
Yeah. So I think the birthday parties were a little now. If we were to look at those birthday parties that we went to now as an adult, we might be like, oh, they're a little sketchy.
Yeah.
But they're piloting a 21 and up grown up arcade with boozy drinks and retro games. Do these kind of things appeal to you now, or do you just appeal more to the, being a kid and going to Chuck E. Cheese?
I mean, I think that's it. There was actually a scene. I don't know how many of you guys watch Real Housewives, but there was a scene recently.
Ellie and you guys,
I was like,
the bond is.
Oh, we're leaving. See you guys.
Yeah,
We're taking over.
Let's talk.
Miami is so good. Okay, go.
Of Beverly Hills last year, where Erica Girardi. Wow, this is the second group chat that I brought up Erica Girardi.
It's okay.
Erica Girardi. Garcelle, a couple of them went to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yes.
This was last
This is
season.
the birthday party.
Yes.
That said maybe you don't deserve a birthday party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they went to Chuck E. Cheese.
They did.
Yeah.
They went to Chuck E. Cheese. They made pizzas and then they went to Chuck E. Cheese after, and it was like a thing. And it was like the first time that I was like, okay, that's a choice. But like,
Yeah.
and now, but you're right in bringing that up, that it's like, why they could have went everywhere. They're housewives. They could have went to France for a day.
Yeah, they could have made pizzas in Italy, like
Literally
throwback to
with
Jersey
like
Shore.
right, exactly. But I feel like it's nostalgia of like your childhood birthday parties and like being able to relive. Who doesn't want to relive their childhood? I mean, unless it was terrible. There's like something that comes back to you, like, oh, this is home.
So were you a Dave and Buster's person, or were you guys into
Yeah, my post prom was at Dave and Buster's. They like rented out.
That's cool.
Didn't you go to South?
I did,
You've
but
had to.
again, not I.
You guys didn't have that.
Well, I didn't. I probably didn't have a date. Is what I'm saying. Like you want to.
Oh, you know what? That's funny that you bring that up because I went to a prom, one of the junior proms I went to. Everyone was trying to go to like what they thought was the upscale, fancy adult restaurants or whatever.
Yeah.
Post prom or
Pre-prom,
Pre-prom.
before.
Yes.
We went to Showbiz, which was the equivalent of Chuck E. Cheese, Billy Bob, it
Good Value,
folded
Major
in.
Magics. Yeah.
No, it was the original, and then Major Magics bought Showbiz. It's the original like Five Nights at Freddy's is based on. So it was that we went there as like 16-year-olds in 1991. But the thing with Chuck E. Cheese, and again, I'm gonna go old head, but like I had 41 years ago in August, I had my 10th birthday at Chuck E. Cheese.
And you remember.
I remember it.
Specifically your 10th birthday.
I remember. I can tell you because, and I tell this story all the time, but it was like, that was the year that I think my life completely changed. And it was already like way on its way. But at that birthday, I remember two of the records I got were Prince Purple Rain, I know,
Prince shirt.
and Bruce Springsteen Born in the USA.
No way.
And that is basically, that's where my life went from that point onward. But the birthday at Chuck E. Cheese was so awesome. It was like you got treated like royalty. They were giving you unlimited tokens. And at that time, all I wanted to do was basically eat pizza and play video games. And that's what I got to do.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, now you're talking about the music angle. I guess I didn't really realize they actually had a band, right? Chuck E.
They
Cheese.
did.
Yeah.
They had
were
the
actually a band. They just were like up
band,
there, and
and
then you could crawl under the stage.
You could
I wanted
the
Syracuse, you
servos
could. I don't know. They were
the
supposed
servos
to, but-
in the performers were louder than the music. Sometimes you'd hear like they'd be playing like the version of Michael Jackson. All you hear is.
So good. Would you go then as an adult?
Oh, totally. I mean, and generationally too, is I always took my kids. So I have on an Amazon device, I put when the TV goes dark for a minute, it'll put like family pictures up, and I put up this whole thing. It's like the Dank series, and I have all these weird pictures of my kids, and I have like a lot of weird pictures of them at Chuck E. Cheese because it's just
Those would be
it's amazing.
probably.
Yeah.
I wish now that I had. Now I have to find out. Speaking of pictures and digging up pictures, the ball pit though, I used to love that. You jumped in the balls, but then they came out like later to be like, do you know
Petri
what they
dish.
find in the ball pit?
Teeth.
Yeah. Yeah. So apparently now
there's not even vaccines for some of the
No.
stuff that you could get in those
Why am I
ball
so
pits.
sticky? It's so
apparently
gross.
like the new places that have those, they like take them out and clean them, and maybe they do.
Of course
Chuck
they
E.
do,
Cheese.
Thank
Bentley.
God.
Of course, we clean them after.
Sure
every
they
year.
do.
That would be like my
Wink.
favorite thing, and I'm
We
like,
use lasers.
oh.
And, yeah.
That's where I got chicken pox.
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese ball pit.
So what is it about nostalgia? Ellie, you're always, I feel like, our historian and our our scientific brain sometimes or not.
I'll take
You're always
it.
the smart
No,
one in the room.
Carry a pencil and pad with me. That's all.
What is it about nostalgia? What does it do for us? Is it remembering these happy moments, and then do they compare?
I think everyone can probably echo this. Like, it's that you get that high of like, oh, remember that? Like, there's something really magical. I can say when you said Bruce Springsteen, I was listening to him today. I'm stuttering. I'm so excited about Bruce Springsteen. Like, that's my excitement. Like, I love him.
I saw you get excited when he mentioned the
I
album.
was like, it's too much. That's what nostalgia does. It it's this visceral experience almost. Like, it's just our body. There's something that triggers. There's probably pheromones going somewhere. There's like all this good juice.
Yeah.
That's a scientific answer, everyone. I am sorry.
But what? So, are there any childhood spaces or things that you did as a kid that you would want to see brought back?
Yes, I want the Tamagotchi / Nano Baby to come back because I would be able to make something live for 3 days. Like, that was so impressive. Like, why were we so afraid? I don't know. That's crazy.
Now you could actually do it.
Yeah.
I feel like I was not successful at those things.
Yeah, right. I don't know what else is.
Well, there's Animal Crossing is kind of like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's Farmville.
Is there a space where you would want to see maybe an adult only event? I know sometimes at like Explore and More, they'll do like, they did like a 90s night there at night where it was just adults and they served
so
like
cool.
the Huggy cocktails.
Oh
remember?
my
Like, and
God.
stuff like that. And you could do all the kid stuff. Not that I don't think, well, you could walk through the car wash. I'm trying to think some of the stuff you might not be able to fit in, but
I don't know if there's anything just.
because I think they've done it all. I think a lot of the places have kind of cashed in on that. I remember having actually birthday parties at McDonald's growing up.
Yeah.
I-
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Did not
You
partake.
can't even imagine.
I'm a total collector, obsessive hoarder, and I had to give away
Oh,
a bunch of McDonald's
no.
glasses because I
Oh,
still
no.
buy,
Oh my
and they're
God.
just loaded with lead paint.
Yeah.
And I still drink out of them all the time. But I've had to like start giving them away because I have so many every time I find them.
Yeah.
You're
I'm like,
giving lead
bye,
to your friends.
bye.
And
Oh, here's a Hamburglar
Yeah.
glass for
Aw,
you. Here's
that's so cute.
But yes, the McDonald's birthdays were amazing.
Yeah. And it was like, then there was that social pressure then. So if like one kid had the Chuck E. Cheese or McDonald's birthday, then the other parents are like, oh, then you're like, well, I want my birthday there.
Mhm.
And
But I think on a parent level too, and you're going to find this out as you're going through it. It's sometimes easier to just pay to make the problem go away instead of having a million
kids at your
a
house.
dozen kids at your house
Yeah.
and having to figure out games and prizes
Yep.
and all that. Just like I'm just going to pay,
Yes.
and then this is Chucky's problem.
Yeah,
It's not
Chucky,
my problem.
babysit my kids.
chicken pox, right? Laser trauma's a big one
Yeah.
too. That was another.
Yeah, that was.
one.
Oh yeah.
Which
yes.
is kind of crazy. Like, you have to shoot each other with lasers, but you can't run. So it's like that's what everyone's like nightmares about. Like someone with like chasing you slowly.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Still
wild.
open today,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's.
which is crazy.
Are there adult beverages there?
Yeah.
Okay,
Are
so see,
there?
they
Yeah.
can make everything adult related. So there you
Yeah.
go. I'd Lasertron it.
In case you just joined us, you're listening to Group Chat. I'm your host, Bentley, here with Donnie Kutzbach, Allie Brady, and Alexa Zappia. So we're talking a lot about nostalgia today. Maybe this is our break for reality right now, is going back to a different time.
But that's it. I think that's it. I
Yeah.
mean, I think that's exactly it. That like our world is so chaotic,
Mhm.
and nostalgia is so safe.
Yeah.
And it's like, let's go back to like a time that was so sacred to us. And like looking back, you know what I mean? When
Yeah.
you watch like Disney shows back, you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, why did I love this? Why was I obsessed? But like, there was such an innocent part of it
Mhm.
that you're like, oh my God, I
Yeah.
like would die to have that back on the air.
Yeah.
You know what I
Innocence
mean?
Or something. Music is my nostalgic thing. That's like my safe little. I love a good '90s alternative or '80s.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Yeah, that's where I get. Like, I don't think I need an event or a toy, but I think a good soundtrack.
It brings back
Yeah.
to when you didn't, maybe we were more carefree. I don't know. We had
guess. Life
emotions,
was
and
simpler
but it wasn't
or
big
simpler.
problems.
Yeah, I didn't have
for
to pay a
us
mortgage.
At that time, it
Yeah.
felt like a huge problem.
Right.
I
It's like,
know.
oh my God.
Yes.
You know, I failed the test. Oh my God. You 62 on a test. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like life was at that point was a big
Yeah.
problem. But it's funny. This year, so we usually do like birthday rides for Spin.
Mm-hmm.
And my birthday ride this year is a Disney's throwback nostalgia ride.
Fun.
And like I thought it was just like because I like the Jonas Brothers. But like so many people are so hype about this.
Yeah.
And I think it's because it's like, what other time would you be allowed? Not allowed. You can do whatever you want, but like
as of today. But who knows? I'm just going to
socially acceptable to sit there for 50 minutes listening to Hilary Duff, like Liz McGuire, That's So Raven, Jonas Brothers. Like, what other place where you'd be like, let's do that?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it just brings back an innocence part of it.
Yeah.
So, Allie, if nostalgia for you comes from music, and then, you know, these artists now are being listened to in different ways. So there might be a 90s artist or an 80s artist that people are listening to now in playlists and think that that's new.
Yeah. So I love The Bear and the TV show The Bear, and REM is on there constantly. And people are like, oh my gosh, Orange Crush. And you're like, yeah, this song came out decades ago. But it's great because people are now, and now there's like a cover band that's REM from Michael Sheehan?
Michael Shannon.
Shannon, yeah.
Yeah, and Jason Narducci.
Yeah, someone knows this stuff. I know, music guy.
Friends of mine.
Yeah, but that's a cool, and that's now getting more people to love the music of REM, and I don't know, I think it's kind of cool that I don't think it's odd. Did you see that video of the Verb when they were doing
I was just
the Bittersweet Symphony at
because Richard Ashcroft, somebody Shazammed during the song
Bittersweet Symphony. And then people were outraged, and then Richard was like, yeah, no, it's cool. Like I have a new fan, so that's okay.
Yeah.
And, you know, so it's exciting to like expand, and it's okay, you know.
So you're on the side of, yes, this is giving the things that I love new life, and exposing more people to it. So you don't feel like you need to own it and keep it for yourself.
No, but I also feel like, Alexa, if I was a #1 fan, I want to be like, you at least need to know 9 songs.
I mean, like,
you know, but I get
no,
that.
but it's true. But like, it's because for us, it was so sacred because, and I think, yes, the Jonas Brothers for us, yes, are sacred, but like, it's the memories that we have associated with that, that we don't want someone just like encroaching on our territory of these like 6-year-olds who just learned, you know, Love Me to Heaven because it was on the radio and they're like, oh my God, I love the Jonas Brothers. It's like, were you with them when, you know, the whole world, Nick came out that he has diabetes and we thought he was literally dying because his song was like a little bit longer and I'll be fine. It's like a song and like we all thought like, Nick Jonas is like, he's going down. But like, like seriously, no, I'm serious.
Yeah. Well,
so, you know what I mean?
It is interesting. And I know we've talked about this before, but it is interesting on how each generation consumes music. So the music and the way what you're listening to hasn't necessarily changed a ton. It's, you know, it's still the same construction. It's still like a lot of influence from previous generations. You're consuming it differently. So there are a lot of, the reason to your point about like somebody hearing an REM song and saying, well, that's on The Bear, is playlists and things like that. Like you used to have to listen, buy the CD and look at the liner notes, and now everything is in the background. So a lot of times people just know they like a song, like they don't know who sang it, or they don't know that it's part of a bigger work. They just know the song and they think it's new.
Yeah. Have you heard of like the phrase or the whatever that like my favorite, and I do often do this, especially in casting. It's like one of the questions I ask is like, what is your favorite song? And don't give me multiple, like, what is your favorite song? Because if you ask someone what their favorite song is, you'll know more about them than you would if you asked 5,000 other interview questions, because that song and the reason why, and then like, why is that? Why did you choose that?
Yeah.
And so when you think of nostalgia, a lot of those songs that someone may say probably are from their childhood. It's probably not something they just heard on the radio yesterday, right? And it probably is something from way back when, or memories associated with a person from way back when, not something that just came about yesterday.
So is there just good marketing that's being realized around that now, Donnie? You know, especially with tours, but then also some of the things we just talked about, like Chuck E. Cheese coming back, or...
I think that something happened in the 20th century, and it has a lot more to do with the way the culture changed and the way mass media changed. And I'm going to point to the boomers in a big way, because we were just talking about Paul McCartney, obviously. And so we've got a table of, you know, we got Gen Z, we've got millennials, we got Gen X. We're all talking about this Paul McCartney show, which will also have a megaton of boomers, more than probably anybody there, if there's enough of them alive still to go. Sorry. No, there will be.
Yeah.
But that's something that, again, when the boomers happened, they were supposed to outgrow rock and roll. So when they were old, when they got a little bit older, you can't still, be into that. And of course now, so you're going to see a bunch of 80 and 85-year-olds jamming out at the McCartney show as much as we're going to see Gen Zs and millennials and all the rest, because something happened along the way where we don't outgrow these things. I think culturally we change so much where you don't have to say, you're an adult now, you can't like that. I think it's the kind of thing that it grew with us.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that happened, again, with media and society and culture. And I think that's why nostalgia is actually celebrated now in that way.
Yeah.
And our ties are still to family and things like that. But I think some of the things we can all still get behind, regardless of politics and everything else, is like, I love that song. I love that artist. I love that movie. I love that TV show.
Yeah.
I love that influencer.
Which is why we're all here together
Right.
today.
Yeah.
So we're going to dive a little bit more into the music and to Britpop in particular. Speaking of Paul McCartney coming, we're talking about Oasis, all the things. This is where Ellie and Donnie might battle it out a little bit.
I don't think so. I think we're actually really.
I think you're on the same page.
I think our Venn diagram is almost one circle.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Yeah, I think so.
That's up next. Group chat on BTPM NPR. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Group Chat. I'm your host, Bentley, here with my guests, Donnie Kutzbach, co-owner of Town Ballroom and Fun Time Presents, Allie Brady, stand-up comedian and voice of the Buffalo Bandits, and Alexa Zappia. She's an Emmy-nominated casting producer. You've seen her work on Squid Game, The Bachelor, and a whole lot more. So we've been diving a lot into nostalgia this episode of Group Chat, and Britpop is back. Did it ever really go away?
Never.
I don't.
It slept for a little bit.
In the 2009 to 13 when Gorillaz came out, but that's about it.
No, I mean, there was a lot of, there's a phenomenon that they call landfill indie in England, where there's a bunch of bands between 2000 and maybe 7 and 2017. And they were just kind of trying to have like, who's going to be the next great English band, British band.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of sort of like mid-level, and there's, for every one Arctic Monkeys, there's about 20 of these bands who are kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's funny because we started this conversation around, obviously the Oasis tour has been a big thing because that kicked off, 4th of July weekend, which was kind of funny.
In Cardiff.
In Cardiff. But then, you just had Sir Paul announce a show in Buffalo. So it's like if you even say the word Britpop, which I don't think people associate with Oasis and Blur, but who are the founders of Britpop? If you were to say British pop, would you say the Beatles?
It's probably the Beatles, the Stones, the Who, the Kinks.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably the jumping off point. And then, somehow in there, David Bowie sort of stirred it a little bit, and then punk comes out, and Paul Weller and the Jam have put a huge imprint on it, and the Clash, of course, and it just keeps morphing and changing. And then in the 90s, they gave it a brand name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The encroachment of American society into British society, that was the
marketing brand name came. It got the name in the 90s.
In the 90s,
the Britpop.
I think like NME or Melody Maker, one of those, decided to just give it that stamp, and that kind of stuck.
And Ellie, what were you mentioning about the bigger social picture of that?
Oh, well, it's just like the encroachment of American society into British society. That's kind of was the big thing. I think that's why maybe Oasis did not want to be considered Britpop for a while, and that Blur, they're snooty little guys that they don't understand the people, and they were talking about American society, and I think that was part of the little
I think that that Britain wanted a reaction to grunge and American alternative, and that's what it sort of became.
Yeah. So Britpop was probably in the background for you growing up, right? Because you were
this is the funny story.
Alexa.
The timing of this is pretty impeccable. I went to my cousin's, who's about 15 years older than me, for the 4th. She has 2 or 3 little kids, whatever. And all the kids are in bed, and we're sitting there, and she's like, "Oh my God, did you see the Oasis tour?" I looked at her and I was like, "I don't know who that is."
Oh.
So I don't know who that is.
Oh, my heart.
So she's like, "Are
R.E.M..
you?" I think she like threw her phone. She was like, "What? What do you mean you don't know?" And then she's listing. I'm like, "Carrie, I don't know. I don't know."
You had heard Wonderwall though, right?
So she started singing it, and she's like, "You know that song Wonderwall?" I was like, "Okay, yes," but like I didn't know who sang that, and then it became a whole thing. She got one of my best friends on FaceTime, who's older than me as well. They're like doing things, and I mean, so I'm just sitting here listening to you guys because this is my education lesson for the day.
Did your cousin do it in a British accent?
No, she just said it normally, but
and then did Joe Jonas show up on the FaceTime saying,
so I said, she goes, "I don't understand how you don't know this." I'm like, "Well, tell me a Jonas Brothers song, and then you can tell me this is because they, for you, are like my Jonas Brothers." You know what I mean? You grew up with that.
Sure.
So here's a question, but if they, like, I feel like there must be some sort of love that Jonas Brothers have of certain musicians, like,
They do, like, what they have. I don't think they've yet to cover them, but they do one a different artist a night on tour, and they cover an older song.
They'll do Iris. That's what they're going to do.
Oh yeah.
But, so you would have been the girl watching The Verve or watching Richard Ashcroft, and then him playing Bittersweet Symphony, going, "I know that song," but it was, and then Shazamming it, right?
Yeah, Shazamming it,
which is fine.
That's exactly.
That's a great album too. If you want to get into Britpop world, that
Banger after banger after banger.
It's so good. It's such a
It was that, and I couldn't. Bare Naked Ladies. I was like, I don't.
Old Apartment. You don't. Oh my God.
See, that's another story. Listen, we are not.
Okay, yeah.
It became a whole conversation.
Do you want to open this can of worms?
Yeah.
We'll do it.
You're like, let's go.
We're sticking to
Blur and Oasis and all the good stuff.
But what about, like, okay, did Maddie Healy, did the 1975, did that spark your interest at all, even with like the Taylor Swift?
So Taylor Swift, see, but that's the thing. It's like when you, when you bring it from something that was older into our age, we associate it with what we know now, right? So like the Taylor Swift whole thing with that. And it's kind of like what we were talking about before with, you know, like the Jonas, but like the original know what they know, and now you get the revival of it because of the pop culture references. And you're like, oh yeah, because of that now. And it's like the ones who had it associated with before, they're like, yeah, this was a thing like 25 years ago before all of this revival, you know?
I'm not a 1975 fan, but McCartney said that Maddie Healy is one of the best lyricists.
Like,
and I was
friends with him.
Yeah, Healy. I'll call him Matthew. We're not friends. Matthew Healy is one of the best lyricists. So I was like, oh, I trust him.
So that made you then
kind of just dive in a little bit. Still,
So now, if you were going to explain to Alexa the Blur Oasis rivalry, it's okay. Think Blur song 2. You know song 2, right?
Yes.
It's every sports anthem.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you know Oasis, Wonderwall. Like think like bare basic. So how would you guys describe the Blur Oasis rivalry?
Do you want to do this together? It's 1993. We're at the Brit Awards.
I think it was 95, but I'm not trying to be
Wasn't
nitpicky.
that the second one?
No, it was, they were just,
before
it was a lot of it was manufacturers. That thing we're talking about where it was manipulated by the press, and they were kind of like the English, you have to understand the English press at the time. It was Melody Maker and NME, and they're always trying to get wild headlines and sell more of their weekly music magazines, which were great. Yeah. And I would sit at, when I worked at the record store, we'd get like one in, a friend of ours would order it every week, and then we would just go through and we'd read the whole thing cover to cover.
Yeah.
But they were just trying to stoke this whole rivalry, and a lot of it happened because of that. And they would kind of be friendly at times, and then they would just fight. But I think that the Gallagher brothers from Oasis they're scrappy. They're from Manchester, they're Mancunians, so they're just ready. They've got a chip on their shoulder already. They're just ready to fight. So
speaking of fighting, do you think that whole them fighting back in this era of them fighting on Twitter, of Liam and Noel, the brothers of Oasis, fighting, do you think that also gained more of a wanting for this tour and them being away from each other for a while? And did that spark?
I think Liam is going to fight with Liam. I think he'll fight with anything. And that's his humor. So I think that's his love language. But I thought it was because of Noel had a divorce. And then I heard that Liam didn't like the ex-wife. So once that happened, he was like, I like you again. Who knows? That could have been me starting a rumor right now.
Or I'm just getting Beatles vibes again. So
Live Nation drove a truck of money up to both their houses and just said, here you go. And they're like, okay, we're going to put this aside.
Yeah, we can work it out.
Yeah, we can afford separate hotel rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just quoted a Beatles song.
You did. Try to see it my way.
It all comes back. So, yeah, what brings these numbers to a tour like Oasis? Is it because of the hiatus, because of the drama, because of those nostalgic songs? The best mix of it all.
I think all of it, right? For different reasons. Everyone goes for different reasons. Some for the nostalgia, some for whatever. You know what I mean? Like everyone has their own reason for going. Maybe it's that they're going to the concert because their childhood best friend and that's what they listen to or whatever, or they associate that with someone maybe who has passed over and they're not here anymore, whatever. They're all going for different reasons, I think. And I don't think that's just Oasis. I think that's any revival tour in general.
So what's Damon Albarn doing right now?
He conceded the Britpop wars this past week.
I saw that. He's in Africa right now doing a kind of an opera like concert sort of thing. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I don't think that he's always got something going.
I will tell you this. The dirty little secret is he made more money. He made maybe not quite as much money, but because Gorillaz was such a huge global thing, he does not have to ever do anything again, but he's a true artist. He lives half of the time in Iceland, has a studio there. He's constantly doing something. And in a way, as a fully formed adult and not just, a drunken rock kid in the 90s, I look at Damon Albarn and I'm kind of like, he's a little bit up his own butt sometimes, but he is really like a real artist who's constantly doing things.
Yeah.
And he did okay. And I think he's okay with where he's at in the world because he can still go and sell out arenas all over the world, sometimes stadiums. And he's got two bands that are massive. Yeah. So I think he's okay.
Allie, I feel like you are at all levels of a Britpop fan because you're a huge Paul McCartney fan, even though we're not labeling them Britpop, but we're giving them a nod.
Yeah.
And then you obviously blur Oasis, but you've traveled to London, visited all the music spots.
I did it. Yeah. We did a little Joy Division at the Palladium. I did all that. Yeah. It's just, I do all that stuff. I'm going back to London next month and I can't talk today. I'm seeing Peter Buck, who's not British, but looks like he could be, if that means anything. But I give me all the music. But it really is a special chunk and genre. It's really just it's good rock and roll.
So that, especially with the revival, maybe it's just good music.
It's great music.
It's gravitating towards people.
Yeah. I mean, but then there's like these bangers, like we were saying with The Verve, like that album is so good. So I'm really excited that people are going to start listening. And it's going to be on TikTok then because it's like, oh, that song is catchy. And then more people, but it's, there was really great songwriters that came out of the 90s. And I think we were seeing that right now and we're noticing again, like even Liam Gallagher had with the High Flying Birds, isn't that was his band?
No, that's
Noel. But that was a great, there's some really great, If I Had a Gun is a really beautiful love song. Like he's continued to make music and there are people like me who've always liked the artist. So I've kept listening.
Yeah.
And I hope it kind of brings more attention to their little solo projects.
I still do. I mean, I'm happy that they are getting along, allegedly, because they're performing together.
They're hugging before every show.
Yeah. I do sort of love the stories, though, especially the Unplugged story.
Oh my
right?
goodness! I think I've watched that more than almost. I actually have a VHS tape that I recorded on MTV in the 90s. And like Allie, I've never done the London thing, but I've gone to Manchester and done the whole thing where we went to everywhere significant for Oasis, everywhere significant for Joy Division and New Order, all the Smith spots. Place the Manchester Free Trade Hall where Bob Dylan played the famous show. So it's like England. If you love rock and roll, there's so much there, and it's so parochial. And like if you go to like one little town, you go to Birmingham, and the history of electronic music's there, but so is heavy metal because that's where Black Sabbath started.
Yeah.
And I know we're getting away from Britpop, but Britpop again is like, well, isn't Duran Duran a Britpop band? Because they were one of the biggest pop bands of the 80s, and they're so important.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or pop. It was funny because we did a Britpop weekend on the bridge, and I was like, hey, if they were British,
just add them into
and they aren't playing classical music. Because pretty much if you talk about music in any sort of cerebral sense or any academic sense, anything that's not classical music is pop music. So it's like, okay, they're British and it's not classical. So they're in, because there's a lot of new artists like Lola Young and Last Dinner Party. And I'm just like, hey, that is British and it's popular. So it's Britpop.
You're classified in and of itself.
Classified. Yes, so with all this stuff that Allie and Donnie are talking about, Alexa, back to how do you think now, like Gen Z is reclaiming this? Does it look different? Does it look
so
the same?
different?
Yeah.
So different in a way. I think again, going back to how they're consuming it.
Yeah.
TikTok, Reels. If you really want to go, I feel like TikTok starts first and then it goes on to Reels after. But like TikTok or Reels, and that's how they're consuming music and through social media. And they're identifying with maybe not the older generation, I say that in quotes, but like the older generation, but they're rediscovering it in the way that they recognize it. And so if they're consuming it through social media, I feel like it's a way to claim something and make it the old new again in a way that they understand it. And like, I'm following your conversation because of social media. Like, not because I'm like a diehard and I've listened to their music before and the records and this and that, but I know what you're talking about through social media. So I feel like we're kind of living that right here, right now, and how we identify with certain trends and how we are exposed to different things. We didn't have TikTok then, but that's how it is a thing now.
It's like Allie being a fan of all eras because it's, you weren't, you didn't see the Beatles' first performance on TV when it happened.
Oh, did I?
You will never know.
I was in the Ed Sullivan Theater.
Yeah.
I was there.
So I mean, I guess there is a lot of similarities on even just, the medium might be different, but the concepts are all really the same and how we're talking about it and how we're sharing. I gotta go back. I have to go back to the Oasis. Unplugged.
Oh,
Can you
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail that.
No, you did it. I need you to explain this to people. Like, I need you to explain the Fighting Gallagher Brothers and the things that they used to do.
That's a great name for a band too. Fighting Gallagher
I always
Brothers.
call them just Oasis is the Fighting Gallagher Brothers.
I think that Liam was, and possibly maybe not as much, but he was one of the most petulant people in the world, probably in his era when he was one of the biggest rock stars. So they were booked to play this MTV Unplugged, and he refused to do it. And he's, I feel sick. So Noel said, that's fine. I wrote all these songs. I can play all these songs without you. We have a string section to do it. And it's such a great show. And it was actually where I really had realized I was also one of those people who was buying every Oasis single to get the B-sides because you couldn't get it otherwise. I had a friend who would like buy them all and put them on a cassette. But then once I like really got in, I was like, I bought every single to have the B-sides. And you'd realize Noel wrote all the songs, and then he would sing a lot of the B-sides. And some of those were like the best songs. So when he got to go play a whole show by himself, you were like, to me, he was the star of the band. He was already writing all the songs. He was conceiving the whole thing. And he did that. So then, but Liam is sick, can't do it. But then they show him, they cut away and he's sitting in the balcony with a cigarette, a bottle of Heineken in each hand, and wearing a bucket hat, very Mancunian, and just kind of sitting there and like nodding. And then Noel references it and he's kind of just like nods his head about it. And it's just, it kind of encapsulates what Oasis is.
Yeah. Was he heckling him allegedly?
Yes, he was heckling. Yeah, and he was also screaming things because he was high and drunk and just being, again, just a petulant jerk, which he's so good at and could just needle needle. And brothers, as you know, if you have siblings, you know how to get under the other one's skin.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
And drugs too probably really helps.
Drugs
with
help.
that.
Yeah, drugs help to really
Yeah.
escalate it.
Yeah,
And that's why we have bucket hats now.
Yeah.
I know. Thanks a
That is
lot.
true.
Yeah,
I do think so.
I thought it was Jamiroquai that really got us on.
So that and hip hop, and I think actually the hip hop informed it, and then Stone Roses, Manny from Stone Roses started wearing one, so then Liam would wear it because the Oasis worshiped the Stone Roses.
Yeah.
And
So I obviously Britpop is back, that's I think. But, I do love that there are, female British artists that are getting some nods now, like Wet Leg and Self Esteem, Last Dinner Party, Lola Young.
Freak Slug.
Oh, look at that.
to
And, even talking about some of these artists, nostalgia artists, off mic, you guys, Allie was like, but the new Pulp album.
So
You
good.
know?
So good.
It's so good.
So good.
They're
So
coming
it-
to Toronto, our Toronto people. They're
Are
coming.
you going to the Toronto
Yeah.
show?
Yeah.
Okay, we have a busy year in Toronto with concerts
It's
this
great.
summer. I know.
Thanks, Toronto, for
Pretty
stepping
awesome.
up.
Yeah, I
And
know.
also, you're doing great too. You're doing great. Too.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. Thank you.
Well, you just keep me busy
You're
all
just,
the time.
I mean,
That's
you're like
established.
nonstop. So it's
I just haven't been to Toronto this much in a while this summer. So lots of traveling. So weekend plans. Alexa, what's going on for you besides spin and spin and spin and spin?
Spin, spins, yoga, spin, hit.
so healthy.
Yeah. Every time I'm here, she brings it up, and
I'm gonna go.
and
I still haven't gone.
not only that, but I've texted you
She
twice.
texted me twice. I got to do it
And
Wednesday. It's
you got
Wednesday,
it.
right?
Yeah. So we gotta get you there.
Yeah.
No, my friend's coming in from LA.
That's right.
And we're doing our thing. Taking her on Friday she's never been to Buffalo. She also FaceTimed me last week and said we met through a casting of the show. She actually ended up being on one of our shows that we did the casting for. And we got close after it. And she FaceTimed me and she's like, "What are you doing this coming weekend?" I'm like, I don't know. I don't know my plans that far in advance. She's like, "I just booked a trip to Buffalo. I miss you." And I was like, "Wait, what? Wait, what's happening?"
Can I ask what show, or can you not say?
No, I can say.
Okay.
Yeah, Love Undercover
Okay.
on Peacock, which was a crazy show. Basically, we were casting the girls, and there was international guys, and they all said something along the lines of, "I am a restaurant owner, I work in construction," and all these girls are like, "I don't date people who work in construction. I don't do that." But the whole show was about finding love and finding that real attraction. And then they were allowed to bring them back to their home country. And when they brought them back to their home country, they exposed their secret. And their secret is, I'm not actually a restaurant worker or a construction worker. I'm a famous soccer player.
Oh, I love
wow.
the show.
Yeah.
Wait, did you work on that one?
Yeah. I
Oh
did
my
the casting
gosh.
for it.
It's so great.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Oh my gosh, I loved that show.
So Renee
And that
is
one girl
coming
was
here.
like so awful to that one guy. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll talk later.
Yeah.
So you know Renee?
Renee, yeah,
on the
she was
show?
the one that ended up with Jamie.
Is she the nice one, or she?
No,
was
she was a very nice one. I love her. I will show you a picture. when we go
Okay.
there.
Oh my gosh. Was she the one that wanted to spend time and then like he wasn't giving her any time?
No, she was the one that was like the one that was, we're like, this is Endgame.
And then met the parents?
Yeah.
And then there's like a jacuzzi?
I don't remember what you
It's like we're playing Who's on First.
Yeah.
But no one ends up on
love
first.
this.
But now Renee gets to go to the drive-in.
But Renee, Renee's coming here. So
Send her my best. We don't know each other.
it's funny because I did not find her, but another
that's
producer
sweet.
did, but we just hit it off, and now she's like such a gem. And I just talked to her. I think I don't know. There's not a day I don't talk to her, honestly.
Aw.
And she's the only one that I found. So yeah,
sweet.
she's coming to Buffalo.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, show her we'll tell you all the good spots.
Do I
You
bring her
know the
here?
good spots. I mean, yes.
Are you working?
I know.
Like, do we do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out.
And meet
She can
for
meet you at the
big red
drive-in.
dog.
There you go.
Drive-in.
Drive-in on Sunday.
Yeah. And spin.
And spin.
Busy.
Allie, you do a million things. Do you have any shows coming up? What's going on this weekend?
I have a show in 2 weeks, so I have to start writing jokes, which is super easy to do. And then I'm a new cast member on Offbeat Cinema, which is a classic Buffalo. So this weekend we are showing Screaming Skull, which is a black and white film from
Such a great
1958.
movie.
Yeah, so that's every weekend at a very normal time to show movies, which is midnight. And so, yeah,
Where's your show in a couple weeks?
it will be at the Kaz.
Okay.
The great Sean Murphy, who was at the Cardiff show. He is headlining, and Rick Matthews will also be on the show.
All right.
When
Kaz is
that
awesome
date?
for comedy
Great.
too.
It's cool. Yeah.
What date?
July 3rd. Is it the 31st of the Thursday? Everything blends in. I don't know anymore.
We'll make sure when we organize our spin,
Yeah.
I'll get you the
It
dates,
will be on. It won't be on a Ally show day.
Donnie, how about you?
What do you think I'm doing?
What shows do you have this weekend?
I
What's the
have
date?
Dark Star Orchestra
Yes.
doing a Dead show. Who knows what era, what lineup they're going to do. And then I'm going to the beach
Ooh,
and hanging out.
you should tell them you need Paul McCartney tickets. That's what you.
I already got that. I got that locked up.
Are you going to the beach this weekend too?
I'm going to the beach on Sunday. And so Sunday, I got to work those 2 days. And then I'm going to go to the beach, hang out Sunday. Maybe it hangs over to Monday,
Yeah.
depending. And then it's all going to start over again. It's got
You
more
need
shows.
your
Bare
summer
Naked
beach
Ladies,
thing.
your favorite the next week.
That's the next
Oh.
Yeah.
week.
There we go.
Do you need
There you go.
tickets? Hey!
Oh my God.
I'm seeing Beck with the Toronto Symphony Orchestra.
Oh.
That'll be fun. I am tired, but it's great.
Yeah.
That's summer in Buffalo. We fit it all in. Well, thank you. This was great. We're going to do it again. And we're going to also organize some off mic meetups.
Love it.
We're talking
Yoga spin.
Yoga.
Yeah. yoga
Comedy
spin.
and concerts. And the drive-in. That wraps up today's episode of Group Chat for now. If you want to continue the conversation, make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter at BTPMNPR. Also check us out on the video podcast, Buffalo Toronto Public Media's YouTube. I'd like to thank my guests here, Donnie Kutzbach, Allie Brady, and Alexa Zappia. I'm your host, Bentley. Have a great weekend, and thanks for listening.